Generation Renewable, formerly known as Micronesia Renewable Inc., has provided solar energy installations on Guam for nearly a decade. The recent name change has allowed them to expand far beyond our island. Business Development Manager Joe Rosario.
Moving outward into Polynesia and into Melanesia, and even further out, we have opportunities that we're seeing on the horizon in Alaska and some in the Caribbean.
But surviving a global pandemic has also meant surviving an unstable economy. Generation Renewable Chief Operations Officer Jeffrey Vocolo says it's been a challenge.
Work slowed down, right? So projects went away, right? That was one issue. The second issue, of course, now trying to get through the pandemic is to batten down the hatches, survive the storm,
Vocolo is all too familiar with economic downturns. With over 30 years in the energy industry, he's experienced everything from recession to inflation. With some restrictions finally lifted and herd immunity achieved, he says business is starting to pick back up. But that doesn't mean they're in the clear just yet.
Now you have two other dynamic issues that we're dealing with. The first is lack of labor and qualified labor, which is extremely hard. And then you have another issue, which is price increases, which are, all commodity materials. You have aluminum, brass, copper going up exponentially, and then shipping. Shipping's a real issue.
The ships are restricted access in and out of the ports of Long Beach, California. Lack of materials, labor issues, and inflation have put many larger solar companies in the States out of business. The two explain the continuing rise in oil prices and the need for more personnel is an obstacle that lies ahead. Vocolo says that if oil increases steadily as they predict, they're looking at a 75-employee company by the end of 2022. He says the volatility of the oil industry is something they see has no end.
We're trying to hold our prices pretty steady, even though we're dealing with increases. We're going back to a lot of our suppliers saying, hey, look, why don't you cut your profit margins down some on your product level so we can pass that on to our customers? Because as Joe, pointed out, oil prices are rising significantly. We predicted at the beginning of the year that oil would be $75 to $80 a barrel by year's end, but it's looking more like 90 now.
But they continue to persevere and grow regardless. With Inside Business, I'm Tyler Mattanani.